All right, so you're prepping for a Footwear Production Manager interview, and you want to make sure you're ready to impress.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got some awesome resources from RoleCatcher today. Career guides, sample interview questions, and they even have some really interesting AI tools that we'll touch on.
Sounds good.
So let's just dive right into these RoleCatcher interview questions.
Okay.
They gave us 10 common questions that come up in these interviews, and we're going to break down each one
Right.
and give you some strategies for how to best answer them.
Awesome.
So the first question is, what inspired you to pursue a career in footwear production management?
Hmm.
It seems simple enough, but I bet there's more to it than just saying, I like shoes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, they want to see passion. They want to see, what was that spark? What was that thing that made you interested in footwear production?
Yeah, like what's your origin story in the footwear world?
Yeah, exactly. Think back to, was it a particular pair of shoes? Was it a factory tour? Was it something that you saw? Like what really sparked that interest?
So connect your personal experiences to the role
Yes.
and show them why you're not just qualified,
Yeah.
but truly excited to be a footwear production manager.
Absolutely. And, be prepared for follow-up questions like, well, what aspects of this role excite you the most? They want to see specifics. So is it the challenge of optimizing production? Is it, the satisfaction of seeing a design come to life on the factory floor?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the global aspect of the footwear industry.
Okay, so on to question number 2. What are some of the biggest challenges you face in footwear production, and how did you overcome them?
Hmm.
And this is where they really want to see your problem-solving skills in action.
Absolutely. Pick an example that shows your ability to be, you know, analytical and to take initiative.
Yeah.
Was it a material shortage? Did you have a production delay that was going to threaten a crucial deadline?
Right.
Walk them through that process, how you assess the situation, how you develop solutions, and how you implemented them effectively. And focus on what you learned from that experience.
Yeah. Did it make you a better manager?
Yeah. Did it refine your approach to, risk management or highlight the importance of communication with your suppliers?
Absolutely.
And they might ask, okay, well, how would you handle that challenge differently now? Show them that you're constantly learning and evolving
Yeah.
as a professional.
Okay, question number 3 is about leadership. What's your approach to managing and motivating a production team?
Mm.
And now it's time to really highlight your leadership style.
Yeah. Are you a collaborative leader? Do you empower your team? Do you prioritize clear communication and delegation? Give some concrete examples of how you've built strong teams, how you've resolved conflict, and how you've motivated individuals to achieve their goals.
Yeah, and don't just tell them, show them.
Exactly.
Use a specific example, maybe a time when you had to navigate, a disagreement between team members. Or you have an employee, who was struggling to kind of up their performance.
Yeah, and they might ask, describe a time you had to give constructive feedback to a team member.
Oh, yeah.
Show them that you can give feedback that's direct and supportive, that's focused on growth and improvement,
Okay, now let's move on to question number 4. How do you ensure quality control in footwear production? This is a big one.
Absolutely. This is a big one. They want to see a comprehensive understanding of quality management. It's not just checking the shoes at the end.
Right.
How do you build quality into the entire process, from sourcing materials to in-process checks, to that final inspection?
Yeah.
Think about, what are some of the protocols you've implemented? Do you have standardized inspection checklists? Do you use statistical process control? Have you developed training programs to make sure your team understands those quality standards?
Yeah, it's about creating a culture of quality throughout the entire process.
Absolutely.
And be ready to talk about how you actually track quality metrics. How do you use data to make sure that you're constantly improving processes?
Exactly. And a possible follow-up would be, what steps would you take if a batch of shoes failed a quality check?
Ooh.
Walk them through your investigative process. How would you identify the root cause? How would you implement corrective actions to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Okay, question number 5. How do you balance cost and quality in footwear production? It feels like a tricky balancing act.
It is. They want to see that you understand the business side of things. You can't just prioritize quality at any cost.
Right.
But you also can't compromise on quality.
Right. You can't put out a bad shoe.
You don't want to damage the brand's reputation.
Yeah.
So think about, what are the strategies you've used Have you negotiated better prices with suppliers without sacrificing the quality of the materials? Have you implemented lean manufacturing principles to reduce waste and improve efficiency? Look, they want to see that you're thinking about this.
Yep.
And they might ask, can you give an example of a time when you had to make a difficult decision regarding cost versus quality?
Oh, that's a good one.
That shows your critical thinking skills, your ability to weigh competing priorities and make the best decision for the company.
Okay, moving on to question number 6. How do you stay up to date on industry trends and changes? And the footwear world moves fast.
It does. It does.
So demonstrate that you're not just keeping up, but you're actively seeking out information.
Exactly.
What are some industry publications that you read? What are some trade shows that you attend?
Yeah.
Are there social media accounts or podcasts that you follow? What are some trends that have caught your attention lately?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the rise of sustainable materials, advancements in 3D printing, the growing demand for personalized footwear. Show them that you're not just passively absorbing information, but you're actively thinking about what does this mean for footwear production?
Exactly. And they might ask, what are some recent trends that excite you and why? Well, share your insights and demonstrate your forward-thinking approach to footwear production.
All right, question number 7. How do you prioritize and manage multiple projects with competing deadlines? I imagine as a production manager,
yes,
this is a constant juggling act.
It is a lot of balls in the air.
Yeah.
So highlight your organizational skills and your ability to stay calm under pressure.
Right.
Do you use project management software?
Yeah.
Do you have a system for prioritizing tasks and delegating effectively?
Yeah.
Give a specific example, a time when you had to manage, multiple projects, successfully meet all the deadlines.
Yeah. And probably a follow-up would be like, tell me about a time you had to adjust priorities due to unforeseen circumstances.
Yes.
Because things happen.
Things always happen. So it's showing that you're flexible, that you can adapt while keeping everyone informed and the projects moving forward.
All right. Now we're talking about interpersonal skills. Question number 8 is, how do you handle conflicts or difficult situations with team members or suppliers?
Right.
It's all about demonstrating your emotional intelligence, your ability to build really strong, productive relationships.
Yes.
So choose an example of a conflict that you successfully resolved.
Right.
Highlight your communication skills, your ability to listen actively, and to find a solution that worked for everybody involved. A likely follow-up would be, what's your approach to giving constructive feedback? Show that you can balance honesty with empathy.
Yes.
And that you're focused on helping people improve.
Exactly.
Okay, question number 9 gets into something really important. How do you ensure compliance with labor and environmental regulations in footwear production?
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to demonstrate that you have a strong understanding of ethical and sustainable manufacturing practices.
Yes. And, what are some of the systems that you've implemented to ensure fair labor conditions and compliance with environmental regulations? Are you familiar with, relevant certifications like SA 8000 or ISO 14001?
Yeah, and be ready to talk about specific initiatives that you've implemented.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, a program to reduce waste in your factory. A commitment to sourcing materials from sustainable suppliers.
Absolutely. And they might even ask you to think bigger picture. What are some ways that the footwear industry can improve its overall sustainability?
Oh, yeah.
So don't be afraid to share your ideas and demonstrate that you're committed to responsible manufacturing.
And then finally, question number 10. How do you ensure your production processes are efficient and cost-effective? So now you're demonstrating your business acumen and your understanding of operational excellence.
Yes. Have you implemented, lean manufacturing principles to streamline processes and eliminate waste?
Yeah.
Do you track key performance indicators to see where you can improve?
Right.
Think about, specific examples. Maybe you reorganized the factory layout to improve workflow, or you invested in new technology that automated a previously manual process.
Right.
And be ready to quantify your impact. Did your initiatives lead to a percentage increase in production or reduction in costs?
Give them the numbers.
Yes, give them the numbers. It makes your answers much more powerful.
And speaking of making your answers powerful, this is where RoleCatcher's AI tools can really come into play.
Yes, absolutely.
So their AI can actually analyze job descriptions, like this Footwear Production Manager role.
Right.
to pinpoint the exact skills and keywords that employers are looking for.
Exactly.
So you can tailor your answers to specifically address those points.
Yes.
And you can make sure that you're speaking directly to their needs.
Absolutely. And they even offer personalized feedback on your video practice.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, they analyze your delivery, your body language, your overall presentation. So it's like having a personal coach helping you refine your performance before the big day.
That's amazing. It sounds like it takes a lot of the guesswork out of interview prep.
Yeah.
And it allows you to focus on what really matters, showcasing your skills and your passion for footwear production.
Exactly.
So before we move on to the next set of questions,
Okay.
I want to step back for a second and look at the bigger picture of your career.
You all right?
So what does RoleCatcher's career guide tell us about growth in this field?
Well, it outlines a pretty clear path for advancement.
Okay.
You know, you could start as a production assistant, getting that hands-on experience on the factory floor, then move up to production coordinator, supervisor, and then eventually land that coveted production manager role.
So there's room to grow and to specialize.
Absolutely.
And with each step comes more challenges, leadership opportunities, and of course, a bigger paycheck.
And that's always good.
Yes, always good.
Yes. And RoleCatcher doesn't just stop at career paths. They actually highlight some certifications that can give you a real edge.
Oh, like what?
So, for example, the Certified Production and Inventory Management designation, CPIM.
Okay.
It shows a deep understanding of, managing production and inventory processes, which is, crucial in footwear production.
Yeah, it's like a stamp of approval saying, your stuff when it comes to optimizing production.
Exactly.
And keeping things running smoothly.
Yeah. And then there's Lean Six Sigma, which focuses on process improvement and waste reduction.
Yep.
In a fast-paced industry like footwear, being able to streamline production and minimize waste, that's a highly sought-after skill.
It makes sense. Those certifications show a commitment to professional development.
Yeah.
And they signal to employers that you're serious about continuous improvement.
Absolutely. And speaking of tools for improvement, let's circle back to RoleCatcher's AI and how it can help you craft a standout CV and resume.
Okay, so we're talking about really presenting your skills and experience in a way that grabs their attention.
Exactly. Their AI analyzes the job description, in this case for Footwear Production Manager, and it identifies those keywords and skills that are most important to the employer.
So it's like having a personal recruiter helping you tailor your resume.
That's a great way to put it.
To specifically match what they're looking for.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just keywords, The AI can suggest how to structure your resume, highlight your most relevant accomplishments, and even, optimize the formatting to make it visually appealing and easy to read.
Because a cluttered or confusing resume, that's just going to end up in the no pile.
Exactly. You want to make sure your resume is clear, concise, and highlights your unique value proposition.
Yeah, and if you're looking for even more personalized support, RoleCatcher has this really cool feature called Copilot AI.
Copilot AI, tell me more.
Yeah, so it's like having a personal career coach in your corner. It provides tailored guidance and feedback throughout the entire application process, from crafting a really compelling cover letter to prepping for video interviews.
All right, so it helps with more than just the resume?
Yeah, it goes beyond the resume.
Okay.
So let's say you're struggling to really articulate your leadership style in your cover letter. Copilot AI can help you brainstorm specific examples and craft a narrative.
Oh, wow.
That really showcases your strengths.
And what about that video interview feedback you mentioned earlier?
Oh, yeah, the video interview feedback is amazing.
Okay.
It analyzes your body language, your tone of voice, your overall presentation, and it gives you specific suggestions for improvement. So maybe you're coming across as a bit too nervous or your energy levels are a little low. Copilot AI will pick up on those nuances and give you actionable feedback.
Wow.
To help you project confidence and professionalism.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It sounds like it takes a lot of the stress out of video interviews.
It does. It really does. And it lets you focus on what matters most. Showcasing your passion for footwear production and your skills as a leader.
Okay, so we've covered a lot on interview questions and how RoleCatcher's AI can help you prepare. But I want to talk about something that often trips people up. Common pitfalls to avoid during the interview.
Okay, that's a great point. Even with all the prep in the world, there are certain things that can really derail your chances.
Yeah, so what's the biggest red flag that you see candidates raise in footwear production interviews?
One common mistake is getting too bogged down in the technical details and forgetting about the human element of the role.
Oh, right. It's not just about machines and processes.
Yeah, it's not.
It's about managing people.
Exactly. You're going to be leading and motivating a team. You're collaborating with designers and suppliers.
Right.
You're building relationships with everyone from the factory floor to the executive suite.
Yeah, so how do you avoid falling into that trap?
Make sure you're highlighting those interpersonal skills throughout the interview. Yeah. Talk about, how you built strong teams, how you've mentored employees, how you've navigated, challenging situations with diplomacy and empathy.
Show them you're not just a technical expert, but a leader who understands the importance of communication, collaboration, and building a positive work environment.
Absolutely. And another common mistake is neglecting to show a deep understanding of the footwear industry and current market trends.
Yeah, it's not enough to just say you love shoes.
It's not.
You have to demonstrate that you're actively engaged in the industry.
Yes, talk about, the publications you read, the influencers you follow, the trade shows you attend.
Right.
Share your thoughts on recent trends and how they might impact footwear production.
Show them you're not just looking for a job.
Yeah.
You're passionate about the footwear world.
Yeah.
And you're eager to contribute to its evolution.
Exactly. And here's another one, failing to quantify your accomplishments.
Ooh.
It's not enough to say, I improved efficiency.
Right.
You need to back it up with numbers.
Yeah.
I implemented a new system that reduced waste by 15%.
Give them specifics.
I reorganized the production line, which increased output by 10%.
Yeah.
Those kinds of specific details make your achievements tangible. Right.
And give the interviewer a clear understanding of your impact.
So before the interview, take some time to reflect on your past successes and think about how can you quantify those results. And don't forget the importance of projecting confidence.
Yes.
Confidence comes from preparation practice and believing in your abilities.
Absolutely.
So do your research, rehearse your answers, and visualize yourself succeeding in that interview.
And most importantly, be yourself.
Yes.
Let your personality and your passion for footwear shine through.
Authenticity is key.
It is. Interviewers want to get to know the real you and see if you'd be a good fit for their team. And remember, sustainability isn't just about the environment. It's about social responsibility, too.
Right. Treating your workers fairly, ensuring safe working conditions, and sourcing your materials ethically.
Exactly. It's about making sure that your whole supply chain is aligned with your values and that you're making a positive impact on the world.
Okay, so we've covered sustainability in depth. I want to switch gears and talk about building a strong team. Yeah, building a strong team is so essential for success in any leadership role, but it's especially important in footwear production. You're relying on this team of skilled workers to bring that vision to life.
So what are some of the key ingredients for building a really high-performing team?
Well, it starts with hiring the right people. Look for individuals who are not only skilled and experienced, but who are passionate about footwear and align with the company's values.
So it's not just about technical skills.
No.
It's also about finding people who are a good cultural fit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you've got that team assembled, you need to give them the training and resources they need to succeed.
Right.
That might involve on-the-job training, formal workshops, mentorship programs.
It's about investing in your people and helping them develop their skills.
Absolutely. And it's also about creating that positive and supportive work environment where people feel valued, they feel respected, and they feel empowered to contribute their ideas.
So you're creating a culture of trust and collaboration.
Yeah, exactly. And don't underestimate the importance of clear communication. Regular team meetings, one-on-one check-ins, and open feedback channels, those are all essential for keeping everyone informed and aligned.
Right, so everybody's on the same page, working towards the same goals.
Exactly. And a strong team can make all the difference in achieving those production goals, creating exceptional footwear, and ultimately building a successful business.
Okay, so we've talked about building a strong team. Now I want to touch on something that can be a real challenge for footwear production managers managing change.
Yeah, the footwear industry is constantly evolving, so being able to adapt to change is essential for success.
Right, new technologies, emerging trends, unforeseen events, they can all disrupt the status quo.
Exactly. And as a footwear production manager, you need to be able to anticipate those changes, embrace them, and lead your team through them effectively.
So it's about being flexible, adaptable, and proactive.
Right. And it's also about communicating the need for change clearly and transparently to your team. Explaining why the change is necessary, how it's going to benefit the company, how it will impact their roles that can help reduce resistance and foster buy-in.
Right. It's about getting everyone on board with the change and making sure they understand the big picture.
Exactly. And managing change successfully can lead to, greater efficiency, innovation, and competitiveness for your company.
Okay, so we've talked about managing change. Now I want to circle back to a topic we touched on earlier, problem solving.
Yeah, problem solving is so critical for any footwear production manager. You're going to face challenges on a daily basis. So being able to identify those problems, analyze their root causes, and implement effective solutions is essential.
Right? Whether it's a production delay, a quality issue, a supply chain disruption, you need to be able to think on your feet and find solutions quickly.
Exactly. And effective problem solving involves a few key steps. First, you've got to define that problem, clearly gather all the relevant information. Then brainstorm those potential solutions, evaluating the pros and cons of each option.
Right, so you're taking a structured approach to problem solving,
Yes.
not just reacting emotionally.
You don't want to just react emotionally. You want to be strategic.
Yeah.
And once you've identified that best solution, you've got to develop an action plan and implement it effectively.
Right.
That might involve delegating tasks, setting deadlines, monitoring progress to make sure that problem is resolved quickly and efficiently.
So it's about being decisive, taking action, and following through to make sure that the problem is fully addressed.
Exactly. And remember, problem solving is often a team effort. So don't be afraid to seek input from your colleagues. Brainstorm solutions together and leverage that collective wisdom of the team.
So it's about collaboration and communication.
Absolutely. Two essential ingredients for success in any leadership role.
Okay, so we've covered problem solving. Now I want to switch gears and talk about another crucial aspect of career development, continuous learning.
Continuous learning is so essential for staying ahead of the curve in any industry, but especially in footwear production, where new technologies, materials, and manufacturing processes are emerging all the time.
Right, the footwear industry is constantly evolving, so you need to be committed to lifelong learning to stay relevant and competitive.
Exactly. And that means staying informed about the latest trends, attending industry conferences, reading trade publications, and even taking online courses.
So it's about being proactive and seeking out those opportunities to expand your knowledge and your skills.
Absolutely. And it's also about being open to new ideas, willing to challenge your assumptions. The footwear industry is full of, creative and innovative people. So be sure to connect with others, share your knowledge, and learn from their experiences.
It's about building a network of mentors, colleagues, industry experts who can really support your growth.
Exactly. And the commitment to continuous learning will not only make you a more valuable asset to your company, but it'll also keep you engaged and motivated in your career.
Okay, so we talked about the importance of continuous learning. Now I want to touch on something that's often overlooked in career advice, the importance of resilience.
Resilience is that ability to bounce back from setbacks, overcome challenges, and maintain a positive outlook even when things get tough.
Right, footwear production management can be a demanding and challenging role.
It can.
So being resilient is essential for long-term success.
Absolutely. You're going to face setbacks and disappointments along the way, so it's important to develop those coping mechanisms that help you stay positive and motivated.
So what are some strategies for building resilience?
Well, one important strategy is to focus on your strengths and celebrate those successes, Don't dwell on your mistakes, learn from them, and move on.
So it's about having a growth mindset.
Yes.
And seeing challenges as opportunities for learning.
Exactly. It's also important to build that strong support network of family, friends, colleagues who can offer, encouragement and advice when you need it.
So surround yourself with positive people who believe in you.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of self-care. Taking care of your physical and mental health through exercise, healthy eating, stress-reducing activities that can help you build resilience and cope with those demands of the job.
So it's about taking care of yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself, both professionally and personally.
Exactly. And remember, resilience is not something you're born with. It's a skill that you can develop over time with practice and perseverance.
Okay, so we've talked about resilience. Now I want to shift gears and talk about another crucial aspect of leadership, building a strong company culture.
Yeah, company culture is that set of, shared values, beliefs, behaviors that shape the way people work together.
Right. It's the personality of the company, the vibe that permeates the workplace.
Exactly. And a positive and supportive company culture can lead to, increased employee engagement, productivity, and innovation.
Right. So it's not just about making a profit. It's about creating a work environment where people feel valued, respected, and motivated to do their best work.
Absolutely. And as a footwear production manager, you play a key role in shaping that culture within your team and the wider organization.
So what are some things you could do to build a positive company culture?
Well, it starts with leading by example. Demonstrate the values and behaviors that you want to see in your team. Be honest, be transparent, be respectful in your interactions with others.
To walk the walk.
Exactly. And it's also about fostering open communication. Encourage your team to share their ideas, their concerns, their feedback, and be responsive to their needs.
So it's about creating an environment where people feel comfortable speaking up,
Yeah.
sharing their thoughts.
Right. And don't forget to celebrate those successes. Recognize and reward good work both individually and as a team. That helps build morale and creates a sense of shared accomplishment.
It's about creating a positive and supportive environment where people feel appreciated and motivated to do their best.
Exactly. And a strong company culture can be a powerful competitive advantage, attracting and retaining top talent and driving innovation and growth.
Okay, so we've covered company culture.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on something that's becoming increasingly important in the footwear industry, social responsibility.
Yeah, consumers are more aware than ever before about the social and environmental impact of the products they buy, and they're demanding that companies operate ethically and responsibly.
Right, so it's not just about making a profit.
No,
It's about making a positive impact on the world.
exactly. And as a footwear production manager, you have a responsibility to ensure that your operations are conducted in a socially responsible manner.
So what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, it starts with ensuring fair labor practices throughout your supply chain. That means paying fair wages, providing safe working conditions, and prohibiting child labor.
So treating your workers with respect and dignity.
Exactly. And it's also about minimizing your environmental impact, reducing waste emissions, conserving water and energy, using sustainable materials whenever possible.
So it's about taking a holistic approach to sustainability,
Yes,
considering both the social and the environmental aspects.
absolutely. And it's also about giving back to the community. That might involve supporting local charities, sponsoring youth sports teams, or even volunteering your time to make a difference.
Right, so it's about being a good corporate citizen and using your platform to make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. And embracing social responsibility is not only the right thing to do, it's good for business.
How so?
Well, consumers are more likely to support companies that are aligned with their values, and a strong commitment to social responsibility can enhance your brand reputation and attract that top talent.
So it's a win-win.
It
You're doing good for the world and for your business.
Exactly. So as you can see, footwear production management is a multifaceted and rewarding career path. It requires a blend of technical skills, leadership abilities, business acumen, and that passion for footwear.
It's been a really insightful deep dive. We've covered so much ground, from interview prep and career paths to industry trends and the importance of sustainability.
And remember, RoleCatcher's AI tools can provide valuable support throughout your journey, from crafting that standout resume and cover letter to practicing those interview skills and receiving personalized feedback.
So you've got the knowledge, the tools, and the inspiration to ace that interview and embark on a truly fulfilling career in footwear production.
Good luck, and remember, the world is waiting for your next great shoe.